Hey, thank you so much for joining me again. This is His Word Unveiled. I've been so excited to get to this part in Job, and I'm so excited that we didn't just rush through the other chapters and we got the meat, we got the understanding of what is in this whole book and not just the, small parts. We can't just grab certain pieces out of the word. We have to we have to read all of it in its completion. God is all about completion, that the work in our lives He will complete. He will complete. He won't stop working until the day that He returns. Oh my goodness. So that's how we need to view the work. That's how we need to review all of our moments, our time with God, is protecting it in that sense, protecting where we are embracing everything. We're not skipping over anything that's seemingly boring. So these conversations that we've been hitting in Job could very easily be boring, like the back and forth and the back and forth. But those were so important to lay out what was spoken and just the frustration that was building, the things that were evolving. It's so important. We have to slow down and embrace all of that. And through that, now we are here. And there's this newness today that we're going to hit in Job chapter 32. We have a brand new guy that's coming on the scene of this story, named Elihu. So we are, we're just going to jump in. You're in for a treat. I'm excited. So let's do this. Father, thank you. We come to you expecting you to speak, expecting you to unveil things. We trust you. We love you. We are ready to receive what you have for us today in Jesus' name. Okay, chapter 32 is what we are hitting in Job today. So you know what to do. Hit that pause button and read through on your own. Guys, this is so important for us to make sure that this time, this time is totally authentic, that we are not taking this time lightly. When I have you read through this, don't take it lightly. This is where it's at. This should not be about you getting on and just hearing, what God is revealing to me, or me just sharing with you. Read. The power in this whole idea of His Word Unveiled is for you guys to be disciplined, to meet with the Lord, and to know that even if you're not pulling out and understanding everything, that may be discussed. And through this discussion, not that this will cover everything, what I'm sharing, I'm not covering every little detail in this, but from what I share with you, I am trusting that God will take that and allow more things to come about in you, more things to be awakened in you, where you are meeting with the Lord, where personal application is taking place with you. That's what it's about. This isn't about me expressing what I know. It's about God using what He's taught me to open up more revelations to you, more personal revelations to you. Things that may be so off the main message of this, that may just hit you, that the Spirit wants to speak to you intimately, you personally, applicable for only your life when we're reading through. That's what I'm trusting will happen. That the power does not come through my words and through what I'm sharing. The power comes from His Spirit that will take my obedience and will turn it into something beautiful for you personally. So that's what this is about. So when I say hit that pause button or do what you know to do it, and do it with all that you are. Do not take it lightly. So with that, read chapter 32. Okay, and now for just sharing and revealing and trusting that God's going to do something with this. So, okay, I said there's this newness. So there's this new guy, Elihu. This is the first time that he has been mentioned, and he is about to come on the scene and speak truth that has not been spoken, truth that has not been received. It is on. Like, that's where we're at in this book. It is on. So chapter 31, the last thing that we hit in our last video, we read that this chapter is completed. It ends with saying this: the words of Job are ended. So After that, it jumps into chapter 32, which we are in now together. And it says, then these three men ceased answering Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. So we have Job who was like, okay, I'm done shutting my mouth. I have pled my case. I've said what I needed to say. I'm done speaking. Then we have the friends who it says they ceased answering Job because they saw he was righteous in his own eyes. So they know that Job is not going to budge. Like, they have gone back and forth. They have said the same things over and over and over again. And nothing is coming out of this. Nothing is happening. Nothing is being resolved. So it says the three men ceased answering Job. Then in verse 2, here comes Elihu. So, but the anger of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, of the family of Ram, burned. Against Job, his anger burned because he justified himself before God. And his anger burned against his three friends because they had found no answer and yet had condemned Job. So Elihu was this guy who was obviously present in all of these conversations and what was taking place. He was listening to both of them, and he is just livid. Like, he is like, oh my goodness, I have to speak up. There's so much to say. There's so much truth to pour out into both of these groups, of all of these lives, all of these hearts. Truth needs to be spoken because it is not being spoken from these three friends and not from Job. So he is coming in and he is saying, or it's saying, this is why he's angry. He's angry at Job for justifying himself. He is mad at the friends for just saying this stuff and throwing it, condemning it, and getting nowhere, that they can't answer. They don't have a legitimate answer, a way to respond to anything that Job is saying. So verse 4 says, now Elihu had waited to speak to Job because they were years older than he. And when Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of the three men, his anger burned. So we have this Elihu guy who said that he has been waiting to speak. Now had waited. Oh, it's okay. It just expresses. He doesn't speak it. But he has been waiting to speak. So he has been listening to both sides. He did not speak up because they were older than he was. Guys, how many times have we been there? How many times have we been around a group of people and we see people who are older, or maybe like leaders in ministry, or even like a pastor or anyone that's older than us, and we stay quiet. We don't say anything. We don't speak up and share our hearts or speak truth into the situation because of our age. How many times do we get intimidated, guys, with the people around us? So, any Bible study, any small connect group, anything that we're around people, have we been there? Are we guilty of that and not speaking up, having so much to give and so much to offer and what the Lord is speaking to us, but we don't speak up because we feel just intimidated. We shy back. We back down because we feel like there's no significance in it, that other people will know so much more. Guys, let me tell you right now, there are so many more people that know so much more about the Word than I do. And if I would have been afraid, if I would have been intimidated or responded to that fear that I even felt, just being flat out honest with you and starting this, if I would have done that, I don't know how many people would have been missing out on whatever God's doing through His Word Unveiled. We have to be obedient. We cannot be intimidated. Guys, no matter how many people know that much more about the Word than I do, that doesn't matter. We are responsible with what the Lord has given us. And He has given me what He's given me, and I'm responsible for sharing that. I'm responsible because He called me to do that. And if you are being called to speak up, or if you're being called to lead a ministry, if you're being called to go somewhere, to do something, to speak something, then do it. Then do it, no matter who's calling you, no matter who's going to be in that group, no matter who's going to be listening, no matter who you're going to be teaching. Just be obedient and know that it is not you that is going to be doing that. He is calling you into this movement of Himself. When He tells you to move, what He's actually saying is, hey, hang tight and watch what I'm going to do. Watch my movement. you be a part of this watching. I'm calling you to move, but I'm saying, hey, move in a way where you're positioned, where you're going to see what I can do. It's not about him saying, okay, I'm putting you in the spotlight. I'm going to let you shine. It's saying, no, I want to use your weakness, and I want to be glorified through you, and I want you to have an intimate connection with me so that you can see me move and you can see what I can do in you. It has nothing to do with me. His word unveiled says nothing to do with me. Anything that he's calling you into, any form of ministry, any direction that he's sending you in, it has nothing to do with you other than you being connected to him, you being connected to the one who's calling you. That's beautiful, that he would choose us, not to throw us in a situation where we're terrified, but to put us in a place where we can cling to him and be taken on an incredible adventure with him. Do not be intimidated. Do not shy back because of your age. And here's what's so cool. He goes into explaining this. Starting in verse 6. So Elihu, the son of Barachel the Buzite, spoke out and said, I am young in years, and you are old. Therefore I was shy and afraid to tell you what I think. I thought age should speak, and increased years should teach wisdom. But it is a spirit in man, and the breath of the Almighty gives understanding. The abundant in years may not be wise, nor may elders understand justice. So I say, listen to me. I too will tell what I think. So he's saying, for the longest time, through all these conversations that you four were having, I was afraid to speak up because I'm just this young guy over here who doesn't know anything, thinking, okay, I'm going to sit here and listen and glean off of the wisdom of all these older guys, whatever. Of course, he did say, and you are old. But his point was, he was expecting to hear such wisdom, such powerful points coming from these men because they were old. And he's saying, I realize that wisdom doesn't come from age. Wisdom, it doesn't matter how old you are. Wisdom comes from us being responsive and receptive to the Lord. That spirit in man, it said. Verse 8, but it is the spirit in man, and the breath of the Almighty gives them understanding. And what's so cool is that random chapter that we read about a few videos ago that just talked about wisdom. We had an entire chapter designated to what wisdom was. And if you watch these videos, remember they were talking about these precious jewels hidden in caves. But where can you find wisdom? You can't even dig things and take all this time and effort to find it. It can't be found with the human eye. It can only come from this relationship with the Lord, with seeking him, because he is wisdom. And Elihu says that. It's not in age. That wisdom is not found in age. You know, it said the fear of the Lord is wisdom in that previous chapter in talking about wisdom. The fear of the Lord is where wisdom is found. And turning away from evil brings understanding. That's where understanding is found. And so he's saying, whoa, you guys have the age on me, but listening to you, this is crazy. There's no fear of the Lord in these conversations. There's no turning away from evil. You guys are stuck on condemning and judging Job. And Job, you're stuck on justifying yourself before God. He's just pointing that out, like, wow, this understanding of wisdom. And the Lord is unveiling this to Elihu, where he is seeing that wisdom comes from being in the Lord, listening to the voice of the Lord and allowing him to speak for us, and it not being in us, and not being in age, and not being found in a degree or a prestigious job or just being an old man or an old woman. That's not where wisdom is found. Wisdom has everything to do with the source of wisdom, and that being God. God is our wisdom. Wisdom comes from him, from being in him. Nothing outside of that. So moving on, verse 11. Behold, I waited for your words. I listened to your reasonings while you pondered what to say. I even paid close attention to you. Indeed, there was no one who refuted Job, not one of you who answered his words. So they're saying there was no wisdom found in what you said to Job. What you said, it wasn't even legitimate. It wasn't even accurate. It wasn't even true. You guys never gave him a solid point to even make him think about. You gave him nothing. Moving on in verse 13. Do not say, we have found wisdom. God will rout him, not man. For he has not arranged his words against me. nor will I reply to him with your arguments. So what he's saying, he's taking Job's stance and saying, "Oh, God's been against me." And he says, "For he has not arranged his words against me. Nothing has been spoken against Elihu. Nothing has." And then he says, "Nor will I reply to him with your arguments." So he's saying, when I come at Job, I'm going to be speaking truth. I'm going to be speaking something that comes from the Spirit of God, not something that does nothing, that solves nothing, that moves anywhere. He's saying my approach is going to be different. I'm not arguing the way you guys did. I'm not responding the way Job did. This is going to be different. So listen up. I'm coming with something new. I'm coming with something real. So listen up. Though I'm young, listen up. I've sat back long enough and saw that nothing is coming from how you guys are approaching each other. Verse 15, they are dismayed. They no longer answer. Words have failed them. Shall I wait because they do not speak, because they stop and no longer answer? I too will answer my share. I also will tell my opinion. For I am full of words. The spirit within me constrains me. Behold, my belly is like unvented wine, like new wineskins. It is about to burst. Let me speak that I may get relief. Let me open my lips and answer. Let me now be partial to no one, nor flatter any man, for I do not know how to flatter, else my maker would soon take me away. So he is saying, all right, this newness, this new approach, what I'm about to say, listen up. This is the real deal. I'm coming in truth. I'm not here to flatter anyone. I'm not here to take any side. The only position that I am taking is understanding that my God will speak truth through me, that I am my maker's, else my maker would soon take me away. He is connecting himself to the Lord, and he is saying, I am coming with truth. So listen up. I'm not going to try to make you guys happy. I'm not going to try to make Job happy. I am coming in truth. Listen up. It's on. That we read through the whole chapter 32. That's where we're at. So if you want to find out what this truth looks like and what Elihu is getting into, what he is going to say, how he is going to speak truth into them, and the situation will finally be resolved, that people will just see what's going on, what the truth is in the situation. If you want to see that, then hit up me in my next video for His Word Unveiled, and we will go through what that truth is and how Elihu speaks then specifically into the situation. It's getting good, guys. Stick with me. Thank you so much for walking this out with me today. There is more ahead. The best is yet to come. So yeah. Hopefully you will get on and watch the next video and stick with me. So thanks so much. That's all I got for you. Hope to see you soon.